Hey, what's up everyone, it's Patrick, and welcome to my guide to the quest Curse of the Blackstone on RuneScape 3. On screen right now is everything you need for this quest. Green text is what you really need, and the white text are side notes and things I recommend. Speaking of which, the items recommended are mostly just teleports to help you get around. You go to a bunch of different places in this quest, and I listed a few suggestions for each, which is why it's so long. With the exception of the ring of Kerapac A, if you have it, that item gives you the option to skip a part of the quest actually. If you're an Ironman, there is a slide right after that explains where to get everything. Before we get into it, I just want to go over a few things where it says other requirements close to the top. You have to have completed the 3 elite dungeons at least once on any mode. I think it's not actually listed as a requirement if you were to look at this quest in your quest log. They're not needed to start the quest, but they are needed to complete it. They make you do them as part of the quest, but if you have completed them beforehand, you'll be given the option to skip it during the quest, which I recommend because if you try to do it during the quest, there's a lot of going back and forth between places, and you would also have to switch out your inventory as well between the stuff you need for a quest and the supplies for dungeons. If you've never done it before, I'm going to write a comment down below and pin it. It's going to explain how I did all 3 of them solo. If you're an Ironman, this is the exact same list of stuff with additional text in white explaining where to get the items needed. Feel free to pause this if you need it, as I'm going to get into the quest now. To start the quest, go to Damonheim, which you can easily get to by teleporting with your Ring of Kinship. Right-click Brill, talk to her, and select option 3, Curse of the Blackstone, and accept the quest. You now have to go to a place named Waco, which you can get to by teleporting with your Arc Journal if you have one with charges, or do what I did and teleport with a Captain's Log or the Port Town Lodestone. Find Quartermaster Gully in the northeast corner of the dock and click on him to use him to travel there, and select Waco on the map. Go to the southern part of the market here. Also, if this is your first time here, someone will stop you near the entrance of the market to give you the Arc Journal. You can ignore the chat options. Speak to Zuka the Bamboo Merchant and select option 1, ask about the Jade Spider. You can ignore the second set of chat options. You now have to go to a different part of the arc called Whale's Maw. If you don't have a teleport, you can use the same boat that brought you here. Travel using Quartermaster Gully just like before and select Whale's Maw on the map. Go northwest. Speak to Sea Witch Kala and select option 1, ask about the Jade Spider. Go to the middle of the ship to the south and dig at the sand over there. If you get the right one, you should get some chat options, in which case select option 2, get on with turtle hunting. If not, there are 3 more piles of sand that you can dig at in this area, 2 more to the south and 1 west of those closer to the water. You have to try digging all of them until you get the chat options. After that, you'll need 1 free inventory space for this. Hover your mouse over the turtles until you find one with the option to check it, and that one is usually somewhere to the south. You have to check it to receive a note in your inventory. You're going to travel to another island the same way you did before. This one is called Tua Liet. Go southeast. Speak to Sensei Seaworth and select option 1, ask about the Jade Spider. You can ignore the second set of chat options when you get them. You're now going to travel to another island called Goshima. If you get chat options, select option 1 for yes. Get off the dock and go east to find Crassians. Kill 12 of them around the island. You don't have to count them out yourself. It'll show you the kill count after each one. After killing the last one, go east until you find some big stairs. There's a gate in the middle of the stairs. Open that to go in. Go to the building all the way to the east. Speak to Madam She and select option 1. She mentioned something. If you've already completed the Elite Dungeon 1 Temple of Aminishi, you should get a second set of chat options. One of those options gives you the option to skip the dungeon. You can do that if you get it. If you haven't done it yet, you would have to go do it now and then come back here to Island Goshima in order to continue the quest. Please refer to my pinned comment below if you need help with the dungeon. If you didn't get the second option, maybe try speaking to her again, or you didn't really finish it. Like I said before, if you had to leave to go complete it, when you come back here after completing it, just speak to her again. Head to the Varrock Museum. You can get there using a regular Varrock teleport or the Varrock lodestone. Feel free to pause this if you need this, as I'm going to be moving on to the next part. Walk down the stairs. Behind these stairs, there's a door. Enter that. Speak to Mr. Mordot and select option 2, Curse of the Black Stone. Go back to Daemonheim. Speak to Brill and select option 3, Curse of the Black Stone. Go southeast down the stairs. Investigate the fireplace at southeast to find a carved dragonstone left. Craft the uncut dragonstone you already had in your inventory and select option 1, create the right eye. Go west, use your carved dragonstone right on the fountain and select option 1, place the stone in the eye socket. Head directly west and go up the stairs over there. Enter the crumbling watchtower. Go into a room to the west. Speak to Hannibus. Go to the Adamant Dragon's dungeon in the Brimhaven dungeon. If you have a Horde Stalker ring or a Dungeoneering cape, you can use it to teleport to the Brimhaven Metal Dragon dungeon. I believe the Horde Stalker ring only works if you've already unlocked that resource dungeon, as it teleports you inside, which of course in that case just exit the dungeon. Otherwise, you would have to use the Karamja lodestone, enter a dungeon, and make your way through. Enter the Adamant Dragon dungeon and select option 1, Curse of Blackstone. If you have some teleport that takes you inside dungeon directly, you'd have to leave and come back in to get the option. Go to the most eastern room. Along the east wall, find a mithril smelter, which looks like a mithril dragon's head. Investigate that to get a metallic object. Head to the room in the southwest corner of this area. Find the adamant dragon that you can talk to, do that, and select the chat options written on screen. Go towards the 2 black holes in your minimap to the northeast. Investigate the pit and select option 2, attach a rope and drop the heated metal into the pit. Next to the stairs to the south, there is a dragon head. Investigate that and select option 1, smash the tablet on the teeth. Head back to Daemonheim. Go west to the crumbling watchtower. Enter the crumbling watchtower. Go into a smaller room to the south. Investigate the effigy shelves and select option 2, I'm looking for clues. There is a dragonkin statue to the north, activate that. Go into a room to the south. Activate the statue here. Go into a room to the east. Activate the statue to the east. Go into the room to the very north. Enter a portal in the middle and select option 1, yes. Head to the middle of the area. Speak to Kerapac. Go back to Daemonheim. Speak to Brill and select option 3, Curse of Blackstone. Now you're supposed to do Elite Dungeon 2, the Dragonkin Laboratory. If you've already done that, you'll get the option to skip the dungeon. If not, you would have to go do it now and then come back here to speak to Brill again to continue with the quest. After completing the dungeon and speaking to Brill, travel to Goshima, one of those islands from earlier, and select option 1, Curse of Blackstone to get a cutscene. Head back to Daemonheim. Speak to Brill and select option 3. Go to this area outside the Wizard's Tower. You can get there using a Traveler's Necklace, Fairy Ring code DIS, Wicked Hood to teleport to the Runecrafting Guild, which is on the top floor, or walk from the Draenor Village Lodestone. Speak to Wizard Myrtle and select the chaptions right on screen. You'll give him your raw fish and a law rune to get a few items. Head to the Ice Mountain west of Edgeville. You can get near there using the Edgeville Lodestone or Amulet of Glory. Once on the actual mountain, click on the Enchanted vacuum vial once to fill it. Go to the Sithred Abbey. You can teleport there using the Mask of the Yellow Worm, or teleport to the Carid dig site. Click on the wet seaweed to dry it, then click on the Enchanted vial to combine them into a potion of water breathing. Drink that. Head to this area in Daemonheim. Speak to Hannibus. If you don't see him, you can also speak to Bro and select option 3. Go to this area by Edgeville. Activate this artifact northwest of Lodestone and select option 1. Yes, meet with Hannibus. Once inside, go through a dialogue. Head back to the Varrock Museum. Go downstairs. Enter a door behind the stairs. Speak to Mr. Mordock and select option 2, Curse of Blackstone. Head to the heart. You can use the heart teleport or desert amulet 2 or above to teleport to Narda. If your teleport takes you inside, you may need to leave and come back in order to get the chat options. Enter the heart of Gielinor and select option 1. Go back to Daemonheim. Speak to Bro and select option 3. Go east. Speak to Quartermaster Gully. Travel to Waco, which is one of the islands. Get off the dock and go northeast. Speak to Steve in the Seagull. Go south until you see a water source. Speak to Seagull here. Head southwest towards another water source. Speak to this Seagull. Go directly west until you see a dock. Look for the water source there. Speak to the Seagull. Get off this dock and go northwest until you see another dock. Just outside this dock, speak to the Seagull. Go west onto the dock. Find a Seagull and speak to it. Go to the very northern part of the dock to the north. Find a Seagull and speak to it. Head back to Steven. Speak to Steven. Go back to Damonheim. Go east. Speak to Quartermaster Gully. Speak to Brill. Speak to Bosun Higgs. I know there's a lot going on here, so let me just explain. The place you ultimately need to go to is the Black Knight's base in the Taverley dungeon, marked by the yellow marker on the right. So you already know how to get there, you can just go and don't really need to hear anything about to say, but you don't know how to get there. As you can tell, there's two maps here. The map on the left shows the location of the dungeon you need to go to in Taverley, go there and head down the dungeon. The map on the right is the inside dungeon. The yellow path is a long way to get where you need to go, assuming you don't have any shortcut to teleports. The green path is if you use a level 70 agility shortcut to the right of the entrance if you have the level requirement. The green markers are teleport locations. A Dungeoneering Cape or Horde Stalker ring can teleport you to a resource dungeon near the blue dragons, and an archaeology teleport or master archaeologist outfit can teleport you to a collector named Isra, who is in the Black Knight's base. As mentioned earlier, you need to get to a room in the Black Knight's base marked by a yellow marker to the right. Feel free to pause if you need it, as I'm going to move on to the next part now. Speak to Lieutenant Crane and select option 1, Evie sent me. Go to the Black Knight Fortress west of Edgeville. You can use the Edgeville lodestone to get near there. If you complete the Death of Chivalry quest and got rid of the captain's outfit, you can reclaim in the garden of the monastery, by the way. Wear whatever outfit you brought with you to get in. I got the bronze med helm and iron chain body, and head inside by opening the portcullis. Speak to the fortress guard by the entrance. Head into the closest room to the northwest. Interact with Tessa's suit of armor. Go to the northwest corner of this area. Climb up the staircase. Speak to a nearby slave along the north wall. You now need to head back to Lieutenant Crane, but before you go, if you have a Ring of Keras A, there's a whole section of the quest that you can skip. You still have to go to him though, because he's the one you're using the ring on. This came up in my research for this quest, but I unfortunately did not personally try it out myself to confirm if it works. As a guide maker, my thing is I can't just skip things like that for those who don't have the ring. So anyways, feel free to pause if you need this, as I'm going to continue with the quest. Wear your ring of Keras A if you have it, speak to Lieutenant Crane, and with the ring you can select the second option to lie to him about someone named Tessa. Otherwise you gotta pick the first option. Like I said, I couldn't confirm if it actually works. Maybe you should even read the dialogue to see if he seems convinced. If it doesn't seem to be working, I would also suggest checking your quest log for this quest, as it usually gives some kind of hint as to what you're supposed to do next. That's also in case if I have you skip ahead to the wrong step, because if it does work, you should be able to skip to the time on screen to get to the next part. If it ultimately doesn't end up working, then I guess we all have to do his part. After speaking to Lieutenant Crane, if lying to him didn't work or you just couldn't do it, go back to Black Knight's Fortress. Make sure you got your outfit on and open the portcullis. Go to a nearby room to the northwest. Interact with the suit of armor. Climb up the stairs in the northwest corner. Speak to slave and select the chapters right on screen. You should now be back at the Black Knight's base. Speak to Lieutenant Crane again. Go back to Damonheim. Head east. Speak to Bosun Higgs. Go back to Black Knight's fortress. Open the portcullis and climb the stairs in the northwest corner. Head into the next room to the east. Along the north wall, speak to Commandant Belchley. You'll be back at the Black Knight's base again. Speak to Lieutenant Crane one more time. This should be the part after you lied to him about Tessa and he believed you, or you actually freed her. Either way, go back to Damonheim. Head east. Speak to Brill, and you've already completed the Elite Dungeon 3, the Shadow Reef. You can choose the option to skip the dungeon, otherwise you would have to go do that and come back here to speak to Brill again. Anyways, that's going to end the quest, so I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell for future videos to come if you haven't already. Catch you later. Peace.